Hey guys, how you doing? Come on, come a little bit closer. I've got a secret. I gotta tell you, a secret. Almost like a confession, okay? For years, I didn't pay my mortgage, okay? I didn't pay it. And I totally got away with it. I got away with it, guys. And I want you all to do the same thing that I did, okay? And I did it using this awesome concept that's called house hacking. So that's what I want to talk about in today's video, okay? So come on, let's go. Hey you guys, how you doing? This is Wade. Thanks so much for finding my channel on YouTube, where I like to talk about real estate investing, self-storage, investing in general, and creating passive income to retire sooner rather than later in your life. And so in this video, you heard it right in that intro, I want to talk about house hacking. And this is an amazing thing that you can do if you own a property and you're living in the property and you want to make some extra money. And I used it to, I feel like, the very fullest capacity and the fullest extent that I could. And I want you guys to do it too, because I know it made a huge difference for me when I was starting out in real estate investing, okay? And so that is why I want to do this video. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's talk about what is house hacking. Alright, so what is house hacking? I feel like a good way to go with this is I want to tell us personal story, okay? And so I'm gonna take a trip down memory lane when I was younger, fitter, and I had more hair. And I was just getting out of college, right? And I really hated having to rent. And as soon as I got out of college, I was renting an apartment, and you know, I hated the thought of having to pay somebody else and pay somebody else's mortgage for them, and I hated it. So I rented for a year, and then I got into a property as soon as I could. And with that property, it was basically a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, okay? And so basically what I did was I figured that I could rent out the 2 bedrooms and I could just stay in one of the bedrooms, right? So I rented out each bedroom for $650, and that included all the utilities, you know, electric. It basically, I basically furnished the entire bottom floor, right? And so it included everything down there, and then it was $650 per bedroom, okay? And so that's a total of $1,300 that I was bringing in, basically. And my mortgage was, I think, $1,320. So I'm sorry guys, I lied, okay? I was paying $20. I was paying $20 of my mortgage every month. But, you know, I was basically living without paying my mortgage. I mean, it was insane. Like, you know, of course there are sacrifices that you have to make. Of course, you know, you're not going to get as much privacy as you would get if you were just living in the townhouse, if I was just living there all by myself. But, you know, one of the roommates actually was one of my really good friends from high school, and he ended up renting the room for me for years. And then another roommate ended up being my girlfriend's friend from school. So it actually turned out really nice, and I was able to, you know, I hung out with these guys. I had a lot of fun with these guys, and it was in that stage of my life where, you know, it didn't really matter if I was sharing this house with a couple of guys. I mean, I was pocketing $1,300 a month, and then I was able to use that to build up my reserves, and eventually I was able to get that storage facility that I talked about in this other video that I'll link to here, so you can check that out. When I got my first storage facility when I was 26. But take a look at that if you're interested in self-storage. So yeah, so I mean, it was really this amazing time to be getting some extra cash flow and basically living, mortgage free. And it was crazy. I mean, some guys, what I've heard is they rent out every one of the bedrooms. They rent out the basement too. I mean, my townhouse, it didn't have a basement, so I couldn't do that. But then I've heard that, they rent out their shed, they rent out the garage to another person. They basically got like 8 tenants living in a 3-bedroom house because of all the stuff that they're renting out. And those guys are really, really stretching it. They're really maximizing it. I feel like the way that I went about it was maybe it was a little bit too reasonable. I was just renting out the 2 bedrooms to roommates, and yeah, I suppose you could stretch it out a little bit more, and you can make a little bit more money doing that kind of stuff. All right, so in order to keep your sanity with house hacking, like I told you, there's sacrifices that you're going to be making renting out your rooms, and one of those things is privacy for sure. But another thing is that you really have to learn how to live with people that have, different ways of living, right? So, some people wake up really early, some people wake up really late, or they go to sleep, same thing, they go to sleep really late, or vice versa. So for you, I feel like, when you first have a tenant, I really think you should set strong, ground rules, black and white ground rules on things that you want and don't want, and how you think that the house should be run. And also, kind of make it black and white. And is that, for example, for me, one of my roommates, he was a DJ, and so he would stay up really late, okay? Really late, and really, I guess, really early. I mean, because he would, early as in 3 or 4 in the morning, he was still up. And sometimes, he would start practicing his routines, and he'd start playing techno music and doing all this stuff late at night, and that just didn't work. So set those ground rules in the right at the get-go, so that everybody knows what the expectations are. And then also, quick tip is a lot of times you end up, for me, I'm a cleaner kind of guy. I like things to be a little bit cleaner, more organized. And so what I would do, another tip, is to basically add a little bit extra money into that rent, and then use that money and say it in the lease that you're going to use that money for cleaning, okay? And so, whatever's appropriate for your level of cleanliness that that's important to you, just have your house cleaned by some professional cleaning service. It'll save you a lot of headaches, and it's just, I feel like it's the way to go when you're doing this house hacking, okay? And then the last thing I just wanted to mention was that house hacking is almost kind of like dipping your toe in the rental real estate kind of market, right? Where you are still living in the house, so you're reducing some of this perceived risk of not being at the property and not knowing what is actually going on to your property, okay? So for example, like that the HVAC filters are being replaced, or that nothing illegal is going on in your house because you are living in it, okay? So this is almost kind of like a stepping stone to get you into your first rental property, because also you're going to be saving money by collecting that rent from your tenants when you're house hacking. So this is almost like that stepping stone to get you to the next step on your path, okay, to real estate investing. So I hope that this was beneficial. I hope that you guys liked the video. I'm having a great time putting these videos together, and if you are enjoying the content and you're having a good time too, please subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, maybe you want to comment or like this video. I really appreciate you guys doing that. It helps me kind of gauge how I'm doing it or the direction that I'm taking the channel, and what I'm going to be putting out there in the future. So thanks so much again. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.